time, I'll have Mary Bontrager from the Greater Des Moines Partnership come join me to announce the Karen Evans Immigrant Championship Award. So this award began in 2012, and it's changed its name to the Karen Evans Immigrant Championship Award. And Ms. Evans' earnest and personal commitment to assist individual immigrants epitomizes the legacy between Iowans and first-generation immigrants. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Greater Des Moines Partnership, we are thrilled to once again be a part of this inspiring, wonderful event. Just a couple of comments quickly, why this is so important to the partnership. Well, last year when I stood up here, I believe I said to all of you, look around, you are sitting in the middle of the fastest growing metro in the entire Midwest. So from a per capita basis, population, and GDP, we are outpacing every other Midwestern metropolitan city, including Chicago, Minneapolis, Omaha, Kansas City, Milwaukee, Indianapolis, St. Louis, and I'm sure I forgot a few. Now, that bears repeating because we are still there today and we will still be there next year thanks to great companies and people that we're hearing from today and lists like we see here. So it's a great time to celebrate what is happening in Central Iowa and certainly, Governor, across the state. Our organization last year, about the time of this event, pulled together a wide stakeholder group to do an effort of what we felt we needed to do as a community to be a more welcoming community to our immigrant and refugee residents and businesses. And this group worked well for over 9 months, and on August 3rd, we announced the recommendations and findings from the Global DSM International Talent Strategy. But I just want to share a little bit of what our research told us. So in 2014 alone, in the Greater Des Moines metro area, foreign-born residents contributed $3.2 billion to the metro area's GDP, accounting for 7.1% of the total GDP in Greater Des Moines. Yes. That same year, foreign-born population of Greater Des Moines contributed more than $100 million in state and local taxes. And from 2009 to 2014, while the overall population of Greater Des Moines grew 12%, our foreign-born population grew 25.1% in that same 5-year time period. And one of the things that we found to be really most interesting was in 2009, those foreign-born that arrived in 2009, did anybody come to Central Iowa in the year of 2009 that you recall? Perhaps. Well, if you came in 2009, 54% of you came directly from your home country of origin or from abroad. Fast forward just 5 years to 2014, and in 2014, over 54% of our newly arrived foreign-born residents came to us from some other place in the United States. So in just 5 short years, we became that second city of choice, that place that welcomed and provided opportunities for immigrants and refugees across the country that perhaps didn't see those same opportunities in other communities across the United States. But we know we have more work to do to improve our community here and certainly the state. And from the recommendations that our task force made, and many of you, there are a number of you in the room that participated and helped to make these recommendations. Now we have to act upon them and continue to be that more welcoming community so that we can see more and more names up here on this list. So with that, I am very pleased today to introduce the Karen Evans Immigrant Champion Award recipient, Sal Alanis. Please direct your attention to the screen for a video presentation on Sal.
Grandson to Mexican-American immigrants, Sal Arlernice is a third-generation American. Grateful for the opportunities for a happy and fulfilled life, Sal is committed to creating those same opportunities for others who may not have access to them.
I always questioned in myself, how is this of service to other people? And coming into Iowa, I was exposed to a lot of community members that had a sense of service to community, had a sense of doing a greater good. But being exposed to that and then beginning to participate in that in community, it made a difference in my life.
An entrepreneur for most of his adult life, Sal is a strong proponent of the vital role small businesses play in the economic vitality of a community.
Sal definitely sparked something in me about doing something on my own. He made it feel easy and doable. He always cheered on entrepreneurs in Mount Pleasant and even in Cedar Rapids. He connects you with small business owners. He truly believes in the importance of small businesses. To get exposed to that, to the fact that you can start a small business, you can make a living out of it, and you can make a difference.
Balancing the profit margin needed to sustain a small business with his passion for philanthropic endeavors, Sal is a multifaceted leader in the Mount Pleasant community.
No matter what needs to happen, he'll always be there for you. Whatever you ask, he's the person you can count on to fill that need. He's just somebody who can always make things happen. It's almost as if by magic.
LULAC is a national-wide organization for the civil rights in favor of the Latino population here in the United States. We have the people, but we need some money to pay the fee. And Sal Arlernice offered from his own pocket to cover all the fee, to start LULAC in Mount Pleasant.
He led a working group with our Director of International Programs on campus to really bring the community together to provide opportunities and experiences for our students during orientations that they haven't had before.
He first began volunteering for the Red Cross after Hurricane Katrina. Along with thousands of others moved to give of their time, he waited for 2 days in a holding area before receiving his assignment. Rather than sit and wait, Sal walked around and looked for other ways to be of service.
Red Cross, like many organizations, don't necessarily fulfill everything of need. But what I learned from that is that in future operations that I did for Red Cross, I then set up a loose organization with volunteer networks that would be able to provide the mattress that was needed, the furniture that was needed, the food that was needed, the diapers that were needed. I learned that I could do that I had within me not only to serve Red Cross, but I actually could network with other people of like heart and mind that wanted to be of service.
67 years young and a ferocious learner, Sal is especially committed to engaging with youth and young adults. He has mentored countless interns and connected them to their passion and their purpose in life. In return, they fueled his thirst for knowledge and affirm his orientation to look for the future with an open heart and mind.
Sal did more than just being an employer. He exposed you to other businesses, other people. He sponsored you in a way, really, because he took you out there, not only showed you what other people were doing, but he also shined light on you for other people to see.
He's like a Jedi master, kind of like an Obi-Wan Kenobi, where you just tell him things because he wants you to. And from that, you learn more about yourself and you learn more about, I guess, other people too.
Always learning, growing, and making connections, he is a global citizen who continues to be a champion for the most vulnerable in our communities. From economic development to cultural enrichment, from local festivals and programs to statewide initiatives with broad implications, Sal answers every call to serve with sincerity, humility, wisdom, and grace.
To be of service to others and to be a very positive, contributing member to the community, to society, Sal does that every day.
When I came here, there were 10 people from my country, and today I'm the only one who is here. And I attribute that to Sal. He not only gave you opportunities, but he actually set you up for success.
Many people say, think outside the box. I hear that so often, and I challenge each of us, myself, every day. It's not thinking outside the box, but it's living outside the box. And that gives me a global perspective.
For his readiness to serve by leading, guiding, or doing, and for his unique ability to create connections that propel individuals and organizations to achieve more, Sal Arlernice is the recipient of the 2016 Karen Evans Immigrant Champion Award.
Okay, pause. I like that guy. What about you? You know, I was asked, how do you prepare for a 3-minute presentation to all of you? And you know what? It takes a lifetime, and I'm continuing. And if I were to ask everyone that I'm in relationship with, and I will, how many here am I in relationship with in some form or other? Would you please stand? Stand, please. And I met you today, the students, right? From Drake, students that are in the Exito program, many of you. And see, in all of that, my work isn't done. Because I want all of you to stand, and all within community, because that's what I work to achieve. In all of my work, many, including the Lieutenant Governor, they see this hat, right? Because I wear it to many conferences where I saw you dancing, Governor, on stage, right? The IES, Iowa State University Business Conference, the Civil Rights Symposium that was held here, many, many different events, and even the cultural festivals that are done throughout the state. I go to those because I want to be in relationship, and I wear this hat, and there's a story to this hat. So being brief but clear about this, why do I wear the hat? Some may think it's because of this, right? All right. And there's a mother theme here, so I'll go to that in a moment. But why do I wear the hat? It's because in 2005, when it was Katrina, the flood, right, the great hurricane, I could no longer just look at TV and all the broadcast of that type of devastation through Mother Nature. And I decided that was it. I would seek an engagement and involvement from a volunteer standpoint, and so did thousands of others. Because of that, in 2006, I invited my youngest daughter, Jessica, who was shown in the film, and also with some students from University of Iowa, in her senior year in March, spring break, right? And I asked them, and my daughter, would they be willing to volunteer? And she immediately said on that phone call, yes, I want to go with you to Katrina. And I had gone there many times for Red Cross and other organizations. What happened with that is that she brought her girlfriends. We went immediately down there. They wanted quote-unquote beach time, which meant they wanted to visit a restaurant or spend some time with themselves, being down south, and first time for many of them. We eventually did that, but not before doing our work and them spending countless hours in service to others. Because of that volunteer engagement, each of them joined AmeriCorps Red Cross, with my daughter eventually, yes. With my daughter eventually being here for 4.5 years running disaster management for Red Cross's staff, with a prior stint with Emergency Management State of Iowa. And through that, she lands up marrying a young man here that was a volunteer in Red Cross, Nick, who was a paramedic volunteer. They land up getting married. He joined the Air Force, 3 years in Andrews Air Force Base. Our Max, who was shown in the picture, was born at Andrews Air Force Base, so Max is now 4.5 years old. He does a further extension of his service in Guam, and they're there now, and Molly was born there, our grandchild Molly. So the story I'm sharing with you now, and briefly, but here, is that a significant part of what I do in terms of work within economic development and within community is building a community, and very much based upon service, because we need that service and passion in business, as you've heard, and we need that service and passion in community and community building, and that is what I'm all about. Now, let me go to my mother, because there seemed to be a mother thread. Did you get that sense? Okay, so I'm gonna honor that, or else I'm gonna be in big trouble. But more so, there's a legacy here. In terms of business, our business, which the governor visited under a new name, Innovir, but that was our Ellen and Sons business that we brought from Chicago. We sold it in '94. It was about $18 million in sales. It was an investment group that took it, bought all competition out, and it lands up being now close to $1 billion in sales. It's one of the largest employers within Southeast Iowa and contributes in many, many ways to our community, right? Both business and community. My mother, the story here, and I'll be brief, is that, would you stand, Mom? Here's the story, and briefly, because we are honoring our heritage, our mothers, our grandparents, and my grandparents came from Mexico many, many years ago in the early 1900s, is that wherever we had a business in Chicago and even in Mount Pleasant, Dad gave her space. The space he gave her was that she could have her own business. She used her business not only for the standpoint of having money for herself and being successful as an entrepreneurial woman, Latina woman, but also she used that space to have conversations with people. And why? Because a part of our being is that my father was a recovered alcoholic, 55 years sober when he passed away last October 4th. I think 55 years, right, Mom? And in terms of that, Mom beginning many services, many dealing with young women, families that were troubled by addictions, right? And being able to use that. Well, guess what? Even within my own community, to be a successful business, to be a successful and a leadership position within community, one needs to be able to address those types of things within family and within a community and be able to work for that greater good. So in closing, I certainly accept this, but on behalf of all that I'm in relationship with, this table from LULAC, the cultural with Sherry Gupta with cultural experience here. There she is. Hi, Sherry. An excellent, we just brought ambassadors to our community and did a cultural festival there. And speaking about our heritages together. The students, I'm going to close this way. The students, would you kindly stand? They're from the Exito program, students? Yes. They're my guest here? Yeah. And the reason I gave them a gold coin, and this is what I do when I go into educational environments. I gave them a gold coin, and I asked them to keep that gold coin, not spend it, and to be able to keep that. And when there's issues that come up in their lives and their education, they have uncertainty from the bad sense, unknowns from a bad sense, not knowing what that future may hold. Hold on to this, the message that you're hearing all of us share with you, that tomorrow is yours. Tomorrow, in terms of what you build as capacity, what you build in education, it is yours. It's yours to build along with all of us in community. So hold that and remember that, okay? I thank you for this award, San, and all of you. Thank you very much. God bless.